But I want to tell you this. It just so happens that today is Joanne and I's 31st wedding anniversary. Both my adult life, so, and I can't think of a better person to actually represent this area than her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's proved it time and time again, no matter what she tackles, she solves it. So, with all that, that's what I got to say.
All right. Well, so I have been given the job to introduce my mother, but before I do that, I just want to say a few things about this campaign, which, so I have an interesting perspective of it, I think, because I was like very abstractly aware of it for the majority of its time, and then became very aware of it in just the past 2 weeks. And so when I first found out, well, it really all goes back, 2016 election, everyone's distraught, and I got to see my parents really mobilize in that and join together with people in the area, which I think has been, Jenny Hoffman has talked about the fact that it's like therapeutic for people to meet like-minded people in our area, which were very scattered apart from each other. So I think coming together back in 2016 was like the beginning of all of this action that's happened. And then the fact that out of nowhere, it just came out that, I think it was my dad who called me and was like, your mom's thinking about running, and I was like, that's awesome. And then I was kind of off, that's all I knew, and then things, I slowly heard information here and there, lots of names, because anytime I call my mom, which is maybe like once a month at the worst, it's like, how are you good, and then it's like this whole conversation about the community and everyone she's working with and their stories, and so then when I meet you guys, I usually, and last name, because I know a lot about you, all about, who your family is and what you do in the community and where you went to college and all that. And so it's been great to see my parents really get so engaged in the community because, it can be really isolating out on the west side of Pickford. It's really awesome to see that community come up. Because, when I was like, where do I want to go to college, I said, I wanted to get out. And I was like, I can't exist in this community. And so I wanted out, and I didn't want to ever come back. And so it's been really heartwarming to see how many lovely people are actually here. And, maybe I should have friends that and so you should all be very proud for finding each other and for being good people. And so that's been really lovely to see. But a huge part, I came back 2 weeks ago, like fresh out of the woods of New Hampshire, so going from like not really talking to anyone at all to being really surrounded by a lot of high energy folks, and I was scared of that. I was like, oh, this is going to be too much, but it's been wonderful. It's been amazing. Like, quickly I hopped into the party van, as we call it, which is, driven by Jenny over there, and so it was just an amazing experience from the get-go of just really to see all of these women. I went to Wellesley College, which is a women's college, which is a huge difference from the real world, because, in the real world, still today, even though there's been a lot of progress, often in social situations, there's a lot of things that I call microaggressions, which is where you just see how women are still talked to today, and often usually pushed aside in a conversation or hushed, or they're afraid to be bitchy, honestly, and that's wrong. And so it's been great to be in environments, again, in my community, where all these women are coming together, and they're speaking loudly and proudly, and they have ideas, and they're bringing them outward. And so that's been wonderful to see, one, with just my mom, but two, all of the women on her campaign. And so that's been extremely moving to me these past 2 weeks, and made me very proud. And on that note, I just want to say something that really hurts me every time is do not use the word ladies. That is my only request. Ladies is not a nice term, and it's like demeaning. So women or people, people's a nice word. I have known my mom for going almost on 23 years, and she has always been very inspiring to me, pushed me, and she made me who I am today in so many ways. You know, I remember like being at the fair auction, and she'd be like, "You need to go shake his hand. Like, he's buying your animal. You need to shake his hand." And you're like, "I don't know him," but that's how I gotten the courage to be like as outgoing as I am today, and able to like come up and speak in front of you with no idea of what I was about to say. And so, yeah, I've always been so impressed and proud of her, and sometimes embarrassed, but that was kind of nice. It was my fault that I was embarrassed, not her. And I'm also just so grateful for all of you who've come together behind her and for creating the community around this movement. And you know, I don't think it's not over no matter what. And I just think the goodness hopefully will rise in the future. But yeah, without further ado, thank you so much, everyone. Here's my mom.
Good evening. Little did I know back in early 2017 when I looked at all the scared faces around me and said, hey, we need to bring these people together so they can talk. Little did I know I was starting my campaign team. So much has already been said before me tonight that really covers the bases, but you know that every one of you in this room is an amazing, amazing person. We, this whole campaign is nothing other than a marketing and advertising project. I said that from the very beginning. I am one who tends not to be herded like a cow. I believe in coloring outside the lines, and I love to step off the side of the sidewalk. We were told we shouldn't buy yard signs, don't buy t-shirts. We did it anyway. So all the rules were meant to be broken. But I've been thrilled to work with everyone in this room. We've done some amazing things. Whether we win or lose tonight really doesn't even matter. Because we have started to build a movement across the 107th that is powerful. And regardless of whether I'm in office or not, we will continue to work moving forward as a team. We'll need to meet and decide exactly how that's going to look, but we will continue to work together. Maybe we'll start heading down to Lansing periodically and sitting in on committee meetings so we have an actual better understanding of what's going on there. It's time for us to move beyond the letter writing, the phone calling, and the emailing, and be in a position to better hold our representatives accountable and to continue to work to bring fellow Democrats and progressives out of the woodwork and continue to build that movement, because I really don't think that America is actually very damn red. So I've always said it's we. We're a team, and I'm just your spokesperson. And as we move forward in whatever way, shape, or form that'll look like, I look forward to working with every single one of you in this room to continue to make things happen, and that is the main message I want to get across to you this evening. So I'm looking forward to more of the election results coming in so we can see exactly what this race looks like, because I'm real curious whether I'm headed to Lansing tomorrow or back to the farm.